Hey friends of the Pilates Festival, it's Joakim and I am going to do a session for you, a multi-level Pilates class. All you need is a mat and gravity, you've already got that, and enjoy. So we're going to start, I'm a fan of results. We're going to start by testing ourselves and seeing how we feel by rolling the knees and the hips from side to side. Doesn't matter how you feel, but it's interesting just to note how you feel. Does it feel even to the two sides? So just remember how that feels. Then roll over sideways, come up into a seated position. A bit of up and down, I'm afraid, but it helps with the understanding of the benefits of Pilates, because we all know that Pilates is good, but we don't always recognize that there is an actual change. People are able to tie their shoelaces after 6 months of doing Pilates and they couldn't before, but they kind of think, Pilates doesn't really do much. So there are lots of little ways that we can just test to see that there are results being received. We're going to do some breath practice. So I want you to fill your lungs sideways, breathing in and breathing out. So empty your lungs all the way. And let's take a breath. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. From here, bring your hands to your shoulders, reach up to the ceiling, and turn the palms forwards and fold forwards. Most of the exercises that you see in this routine come from Lolita's legacy. Part of the legacy of exercises that my mentor Lolita San Miguel has developed as part of her training course. She trained with Joseph Pilates. One of only 2 people to ever be qualified by Joseph Pilates, and then she worked with him towards the end of his life in the 1960s. Let's do some rotation. Place a hand onto the knee and the other hand behind you, flat on the floor, and drive yourself around looking over the back shoulder. Back to the center. And drive around the other way. Back to the center. Because we're using our arms here, it's a slightly passive spinal twist, but you can help with your abdominals to make it a more active spinal twist. Trying to rotate above the hip joints, or above the waist, so that the hip bones are still in contact. One last time, in each direction. And relax there. Let's do some lateral flexion. Lolita wants us to sit with our feet flexed because it activates the outside of the legs. Plant a hand out to the side, reach the other hand up and over. And if you can keep this arm straight. If you have to, you can bend the arm. But whatever you're going to do, keep the shoulder away from the ear so that it doesn't hitch up. And we're trying to breathe in and expand the lungs and grow taller here, but certainly to stretch over the top. One more in each direction. And relax down there. Let's do extension. breathe in, look up towards the ceiling. Lift yourself up and out of your own hips. Breathing in. And breathe out to fold forwards. That's worth massaging the legs. Down here, letting the feet go, letting everything go. Now, can you see how by moving my feet, I'm actually moving the legs up here in the hip joints. Let's take advantage of that action. Sit tall and upright. Open the legs out just wider than shoulder width apart, and let's do leg and ankle circles. We're going to roll the feet in, push them down, and go out and come up. In and down and out and up. In and down and out, come up. In and down and out, change direction. Out and down and in and up. Out and down and in, come up. Last one, out, down, in. I said last, but I can't count. Out, down and in and up. It's one of the reasons I'm a Pilates teacher, because I have a professional skill and professional inability to count. From here, let's point and flex at the ankles. You might notice that my right foot doesn't go as far as my left because I have an old calf injury. But we go as far as we can to our own capacity. Let's do 4 sections of the feet. So send the arch away, send the toes away, bring the toes back, bring the arch back. Arch, toes, toes, arch, arch, toes, toes and arch, arch and toes, toes and arch, arch and toes and arch. Staying at the top here, we're going to focus more on the furthest end from the brain, the toes. So we're going to scrunch the toes over and pull them back. Scrunch them over as if you're gripping hold of a pencil and pulling back. Scrunch them over and back like a bat holding on to a branch. Last one, scrunch and pull back. From here, let's spread the toes. This is not easy for everyone. I certainly can't get this little baby toe to work. Spread the toes. Now try and do this without going around the corner. Try and spread the toes. Sometimes I find it easier to use the hands at the same time. And spread the toes and relax. Let's plant a foot. I'm going to twist sideways. Do this one first. And we're going to pull the front of the foot towards the back. So we're trying to create an arch here. We have an inside arch, but we also have an outside arch of the foot. Then we have a transverse arch that goes across the front. So let's pull that front arch towards the back of the heel. It's going to shorten your feet as you're doing it. This creates a bit of a suction cup of the foot, pulling the foot up. And it helps to create the internal shock absorbers that we need for walking and standing. Last one. And relax there. Same on the other side. And pull in. Now you might see that the calf muscles are working to make this happen. And the knee does move, but it's not that we're pulling with the knee. There's movement from within the foot. Now most of the foot muscles are indeed up in here. And they just travel through the ankle on tendons. Last one. And relax there. We're going to shake hands with the feet. Interlace fingers between toes. We should ideally be able to fit our own fingers in between our toes all the way up to the webbing. And hold on to the heel and massage everything around. It's a bit trickier with socks. Certainly if you have real socks and you can't get in between the toes, you want to do this barefoot in that case. But even the thickness of a sock here makes it awkward to stick the fingers in between the toes. Same on the other side. This is more uncomfortable for me. It's my dominant hand, my non-dominant foot. So I figure the fingers are a little bit bigger in proportion than the toes. But that helps helps to make the whole foot just a bit more pliable and responsive. And relax back there. Swing yourself back onto your mat. Plant the feet about hip distance apart, sit tall and upright, arms are out in front of you. And let's tuck tailbone under and roll halfway down. And then roll back up again. And here, do a protraction and a retraction. Roll halfway down. And come up again. Float the arms up. Do an elevation and a depression. Arms down. Tuck tailbone under and roll down. And come up. 2 of these. Roll halfway down. Come back up. 2 of these. And arms down. Roll all the way down. Climb down your legs if you need to. All the way down. Bring the legs to bent. Feet are flat on the floor, in line with the hip bones or the ischiums, the sitting bones. And float the arms up, and we'll do protraction and retractions. It's kind of easier to do this one against the force of gravity because you notice what's going on. Take the arms overhead, and let's do elevations and depressions here. The shoulders have got quite a bit of movement if we ask them to have. And float the arms down here. Let's do some pelvic floor engagements. So we're just squeezing pelvic floor and releasing. Squeezing pelvic floor and releasing. Squeezing pelvic floor. Stop yourself peeing, stop yourself breaking wind. And relax there. Let's do a pelvic clock. Imagine that you've got a clock face on your pelvis. So 12 o'clock is to the nose, 6 o'clock is to the toes, 3 o'clock is that way, 9 o'clock is that way, hesitating on my lefts and rights, always do. And let's work through the hours of the clock. So tilt to 12, all the way down to 3, through 6, across to 9, and back up to 12. And we're trying to keep the knees still, go the other way. They will move a little bit, but like I said before, you could drive this with the knees, or you can drive it from the pelvis, and then the knees can counteract the action. And let's just come back to doing pelvic tilts. And have a look at this. Try and stop the movement of the head so that you resist with the abdominal muscles. And it becomes a much more abdominal engagement. And relax there. Send the legs away. And we're going to do some développés. Slide the right leg in, fold it up towards the ceiling, flex the foot, lower the whole thing down. Slide the left leg in, up towards the ceiling, flex the foot, lower the whole thing down. Slide both legs in, up towards the ceiling, flex both feet, point both feet, bend both knees, send everything away. Right leg folds in, flex and down. Left leg folds in, flex and down. Both legs come in, flex, point, bend, slide away, and relax there. Slide back up in here. Take the right leg, place it over the left, and roll both legs over to the left. Turn your head to the right if you want, back to the center. Same the other way. Back to the center. Let's float both knees up, have the feet and knees together, and roll the hips from side to side. Trying to keep the shins horizontal as you go around and try to keep the shoulders down. And the head relaxed. And relax back down there. Fold one leg up at the hip, back down. Fold the other leg up at the hip, back down. Fold both legs up at the hip, back down. Keep going with that sequence. It's called a dead bug. Obviously, dead bug flails its legs around. Hopefully I'm not looking as if I'm flailing. Sometimes I do. Next time you're up, stay up. And we do toe taps. Tap down once, other foot, both feet. You may not make it down to the floor because the whole point is that we want to keep the pelvis still and stable. So engage through the core to control the pelvis so that this is a leg movement in the hip joint. And relax back there. Send both legs straight up in the air. Keep a gentle point on, and let's do tick-tocks. Sending one leg, both legs to the side and to the other side. We're still keeping the shoulders down and grounded as much as you can. Breathe in wherever you can. Breathe out through the hard bit. And fold back down there. Let's articulate the spine up into a shoulder bridge. Tilt and peel. Anyone with osteoporosis should be doing the hip lift version of this, where we squeeze with the buttocks and lift in a neutral spine. We end up at the same place. And from here we will do some head supported curl ups. Interlock your hands behind your head. Take a breath in as you breathe out, tuck chin. In to come down. And let's do some obliques. 3 to this side. Keeping the pelvis still. 3 to the other side. And let's roll over onto your side. Stack your knees, stack your hips, stack your feet, neutral spine, and look straight ahead with the hands interlaced behind you for bent elbows and book covers. Keeping that elbow down, take the top elbow up and away behind you. So we're going to try and make sure that we don't lean back at the hips. You can breathe in to go back. You can breathe out to go back. Whatever gives you the better sensation. From here, drop the head. It's a little bit awkward, but we'll fix that by going on to the other side as well. And now we're opening with the twist of the torso. So it's not that we're just lifting that arm away behind us, we're trying to roll away. At the bottom here, we can reach forwards into a protraction and feel the stretch, come back to the center, fold up and over, close and relax. Support your head comfortably. We'll do the clamp. Top knee floats away without leaning back at the hips. We can do a double clamp, so that the inside leg or the downward leg moves as well. We want to be looking straight ahead just to keep a neutral sense of the spine. Next time you're up, stay up. Control this knee and extend this leg at the knee. Bring it back. extend, bring it back, extend, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, and float back in and float down. Let's lift a bent leg up and down, up and down, up, stay up, forwards and backwards. It is harder to go backwards with a bent leg. So it's a bent leg side kick. It means that we've got to control what's going on at the knee. We tend to kind of straighten away, but it's difficult to coordinate the keeping of the bent knee. We can turn that into a bicycle, sending away, and that changing of the length of the lever makes it a more challenging thing. And go back the way you came, flex the foot to come forwards, point, and steady back in, float that leg down. Let's roll over onto the front. Place one hand on top of the other. We'll do a prone leg lift. Float one leg up and down. Other leg up and down. Both legs up and down. Trying to do this without any movement at the shoulders. Float a leg up. Other leg. Both legs. One more time. Float. Float. And float. Just lying here. Just pull belly button away from the mat and release. So the Dr. Kegel pelvic floor exercises. And let's do a baby swan. The baby swan has its arms, wings still low. Legs are parallel and we float up to look towards the front edge of your mat. Now the swan has an in-breath on the way up. It's perfectly possible to breathe out on the way up. It just depends on what we're trying to achieve. Here I'm trying to achieve more mobility of my spine. I'm not great in extension. I'm better off breathing in to go up. Baby swan growing a little bit more brave, starting to look up and beyond the nest. The elbows are just coming off, but not really, and back down. Let's float the arms out in front. Float one arm on the opposite leg, and down. Other arm, other leg, and down. Both arms, both legs, and down. And same again. One side. Other side, both sides. Now let's float both arms, both legs and head. Float the arms around to the side and then forwards for a Superman into an arrow. Superman over the town, arrow as if you've just been shot out of a bow. Superman forwards, arrow away behind. One more time forwards and relax down there. We'll roll over onto the other side. Obviously I'd normally face that way, but I'm going to swing around so that you can look at me. So stack the hips, stack the shoulders, stack the feet and knees. Top elbow comes away. And breathe however it is you want to breathe. Last one. Send the arms forwards, up and over. And let's protract that shoulder, reaching forwards. Coming back, open up again, control it through the core and bring it back to the start. Support the head here. We're going to do a bent leg lift. So lifting it straight off the other one and putting it back down. Straight off and back down. It's relatively difficult to have the feet and the knees, the foot and the knee move at the same rate. And then come up and swing that bent leg forwards and back for bent-legged side kicks. Go forwards and back, and forwards and back. Turn that into a bicycle. Reach that leg away in front of you. Push a straight leg away behind. Bend the leg. Take it through to the front. Pointed foot as you cycle forwards, which is pushing the leg backwards. And then cycle backwards. Flex the foot. So the cycling forwards and backwards is still in reference as to how you would be on a bicycle as opposed to the movement of the leg. And fold back in. Let's do clams. So top knee away and back down. Top knee away and back down. One last time like this. And do a double clam. Both feet move. And then stay up with that top knee. Hold it still in space. Extend at the knee without moving the thigh. Bend back in. Extend. Bend back in. It is not easy to do that last final bit without pulling the leg back in on yourself. And flex and extend. Stay here. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. And bring that leg back. And close everything off. Nice. Let's roll over or come up into a quadruped, up onto your hands and knees. Now I don't care which way your elbows point because you just go wherever your shoulders are comfortable, but I am interested in you not being locked at the elbows so that you're just hanging off hyperextended joints. I can't do it, my arms just won't go, but many people can hyperextend at the elbow. And if that's the case, knock your elbows slightly soft so that the tricep kicks in. You can feel this muscle working in the 4-point kneeling position, quadruped, then you're in the right place. We want to start with a neutral spine. So many people start here. We're going to bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders, have the arms straight but not locked, and have the chest pushing up through the shoulders and the bum slightly stuck out behind, belly button towards the spine. Here we're going to do a pregnant cat. So let's everything hang down like a cat that's got 9 kittens and pull everything up. Got an awesome video of one of my Pilates teachers, one of my colleagues, a Lolita's legacy educator, actually pregnant doing this, and it is amazing what she can do, could do. She's got a beautiful boy now. From here, let's do an angry cat stretch. So you're going to tuck your tailbone under, stick your hand between your knees, and flatten back down. And tuck under. And back down. Tuck under, arch all the way up. And back down. Let's look for your tail. Stick your bum out to one side, looking over that shoulder, back to center. Same on the other side. One more. And relax here. Let's send out one arm forwards and the opposite leg backwards. Opposite arm and leg slide combo. Trying to keep your top line unchanged, so you're not dropping that shoulder and you're not lifting that other hip. Now if this is far too easy for you, you can do same siders. You have to shift a little bit. Same arm, same leg going forwards and back. And if you're still doing opposites, float them up. Float them up to horizontal. So if you're doing same siders, send them away and float them up without twisting. And then come back. Send away and float without twisting at the hips. If you want to go twisting at the hips, that's fine, but I want the whole body to twist all the way up and all the way down. Same on the other side then. You insisted. Up and all the way down. And if you're that cheeky, do 10 of those before we keep going. Stop the video, do 10 of those, and keep moving. From here, we're just going to tuck the toes under and then straighten the legs up into an elephant and march. And bend the knees and come back down, sit down to rest position. And we're ready for our workout. Okay, the hundreds. Start lying down with your legs bent and start pulsing the arms up and down. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift the knee, 4, 5 and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going like this and you stop wherever it's comfortable for you, because the hundreds, like with all exercises in the Pilates method, have got different variations. You can bring the head up, then you stop at the one that's appropriate to you. Send both legs away. You can lower the legs down, 2, 3, 4, 5 and in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might ask, why don't I go there to the prescribed 6 inches off the floor? Because I've got a big backside. When I'm down here, I'm just resting on my glutes. I'm not doing any work. Whereas there, oof, suddenly off the backside, there's nothing holding me up other than core. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax back in there. Nice work. We're going to do some roll ups. We're going to start the roll up as a roll down and as a roll back. It is easier to do this with pointed feet because it lengthens the downward lever. So therefore it's harder to do it with flex. So you want to try this with flex. But we'll do it pointed just to start with. You're going to sit tall and upright, and then you tuck tailbone under and you roll back as far as you know you can go without lifting the legs. Then you go back up again. Tuck under. Test yourself and roll all the way back up. Tucking under. Now if you reckon you can go comfortably all the way down, that's fine. It's perfectly fine to roll sideways, come back to sitting, and roll all the way down again. Now if you are going to do it that way, make sure that you alternate the side to which you roll. But if you can, roll all the way down, touch the mat away behind you and roll all the way back up. Stay rounded and roll all the way down. Take a breath into the ceiling and breathe out to tuck the chin and roll forwards like that. You could also restack and tuck under. Breathe in and restack there. Okay. The rollover. We're going to roll over. I'll show you the preparations and then I'll show you the rollover or variations and stages leading up to it. So roll down. Climb down your legs if you need to. Fold both legs up. We're going to start by lifting the hips, sending the legs straight up in the air, and just take them away from you a little bit and towards you a little bit. Away and towards. So the lifting of the hips onto your hands, it just flexes the spine a little bit, pre-rolls the spine a little bit. So you might be able to get just that touch further with the legs. So we want to make the backside lighter on the hands by engaging through the core. So that's a preparation. And once we're ready to start, we want to take straight legs towards the nose, But if that's as far as you go, then that's fine. Breathe in. These arms being active. So if you're able to roll up and over, open the legs, flex the feet out to shoulder width apart, and roll down. Now I get a quiver in my leg if I don't engage through the quads as I go over. So make sure you do something to make it look smooth. You don't have to touch the floor overhead, by the way. That's something that was started in Joseph Pilates' time. They were on mats that were this tall, and Lolita was expected to touch the floor beyond that mat, beyond that box. But there's too much pressure on the neck, so that has gone out the window. Flex and lower down. Let's change direction. Up, come to horizontal, point to go up. Flex to come down. Point to go up. Flex to come down. Hug the knees into your chest and rock back and forth. And let's roll over onto your side. This time, interlock your hand. Oh, don't interlock your hands if you don't. If you're able to, interlock your hands behind your head. You can have this bottom leg bent, or you can have it straight with the downward foot flexed. The hips want to be stacked. So wherever your legs are, it doesn't matter. This is more stable. Or you can have them here. We're going to flex both feet to start with. You can lift the top leg up just a little bit, bottom leg up to meet it, bottom leg down, top leg down. Top, bottom, bottom, top. Top, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top. Both legs up and down. Both legs up. And we're trying to minimize the movement in the upper body. Both legs up and down. Both legs up, stay up. And let's point both feet, flex both feet. Point both feet, flex both feet. Point both feet, flex both feet. Scissor the legs slightly. It's a bit uncomfortable on the downward hip, but it just shows control. And relax down there with the downward leg. Point with the top foot as it's parallel here, parallel with the other one, and let's do a side kick. So kick forwards, forwards, reach away behind. Forwards, forwards, reach away behind. Forwards, forwards, reach away behind. Forwards, forwards, and reach away behind. Turn that leg, top leg out, and we'll do passe. So you're sliding this top leg up. You can extend at the knee without moving the knee in space, and then flex to lower the whole thing down. That requires control, but it doesn't give you the biggest amount of stretch. And down. We can slide up, and then from here, take this knee up towards the shoulder as much as you can, then extend, and that gives you much more hamstring stretch, and flex down from there. Float up, knee up, extend, and lower down. Change direction. Point as you lift, knee to the shoulder and down. Point as you lift, knee to the shoulder and down. Or point as you lift, bend at the knee and down. Point as you lift, bend at the knee and down, and relax there. Back to neutral. Let's do grand rond de jambe, large circles of the leg. Large circles. The leg might turn out throughout a portion of it, but it comes parallel as it sweeps past the other one. Circle the other way. And let's do hot potatoes. So we're tapping from the hip joint. This foot stays in line with the leg. It does not go down to reach for the floor. The tap, tap comes from hip joint, not from rolling forwards or back. Stay away behind, reach that other arm forwards. Stretch between that point and that point. And relax back in there. Top leg up and over the bottom leg, lean back at the shoulder. Stretch the quadricep. And relax there. Roll over onto your front. And we'll do a full-on swan. So the hands are further back underneath your shoulders, the elbows are up. You breathe in to push high. Still keep a connection with that lower rib towards the pubic bone. Come halfway down. In this halfway down position, float one leg up behind you and back down. Other leg up behind you and back down. Both legs up behind you and back down without moving the torso. One leg, other leg, both legs. Test how high you can go. One leg, other leg, both legs. My thighs don't ever come off the bat, but my glutes certainly feel it. One leg, other leg, both legs, and down. Rest position. Let's roll over onto the other side. Stretch both legs away. You can indeed have a bent leg here if you want. But we're going to start with both legs lifting. So one leg, bottom leg, downward leg, top. Top, bottom, bottom, top. Top, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, and top. Both legs up, both legs down, both legs up, both down, both up, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, stay flexed, scissoring the legs. This is my less coordinated side. You might see I have more shakes going on here. Everybody does. Not everybody has shakes, but everybody has a more or less coordinated side. And relax. Top leg lifts, side kick, kick, reach away behind. 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 Let's do hot potato here. From the hip. Let's do passe. Slide up, hold the knee still, flex down. Slide up, knee still, and down. Slide up, knee up, stretch and down. Slide up, stretch and down, change direction. Point, knee to the armpit and down. Up, knee to the armpit and down. This time hold the knee still in space and flex down. Up, knee still and flex down and relax there. Send that leg away behind you. Reach forward. Sometimes we do pulses here as well, but not today. Just reach with the hand and with the foot and relax back down there. Let's come into a plank position and we're going to do a leg pull. I say plank, but that's a plank position. This is a push-up position. So you can do this from the knees. You can do it from the plank, but I want it in the push-up. The leg pull is just so much better from here. So if all you manage to do is just point a foot and back down, point a foot and back down, then that's plenty. But we want to reach that foot away so that it's a hip extension. It's not a flexion of the hips by lifting the bum in the air. So there is a straight line from shoulders through hips to ankles. And we want to be working that unpregnant cat through the core the whole time. And then lift and push back. Lift and push back onto the heel. Lift and push back. lift and push back. You want to put a sequence in. One leg comes up and down. Other leg comes up and down. Both legs come up, jerking down. Sit back into rest position. From here, we're going to do a thread and the needle, which is a body control Pilates exercise. Take a hand through the eye of the needle and reach under here. So far down that this hand could lift off. And then come back up to the top. Thread through the other way. And come back. And we know we're going far enough when this tricep works really hard to get you back up. And then we're doing a one-handed push-up. And tell me, gang, festival lovers, who does not want to do a one-handed press-up, eh? Everyone wants to do a one-handed press-up. Twist, press-up. Twist, press-up. Let's take this further and reach up to the ceiling and back down. Twist, one-handed press-up. And to the ceiling. Under, to the ceiling. Last one, under, to the ceiling, and relax. Let's do a leg pull the other way. This time you're sitting with your feet pointed and the fingers facing you. The straighter your legs are, the harder this is. So if you have the feet closer to you, lifting the hips is easier. Further away they are, the harder it becomes. So let's do 3 lifts. And 2. And 3. And relax back there. All good. Shake it out at the wrists. And let's do the teaser. So you're going to hold on behind the knees with wide open elbows, creating a strong connection through here. It's kind of like the start of the rolling like a ball position. Let's can one leg straight and back in. Can the other leg. Now your hamstring length determines what happens with the knees. So if the knees drop and you can't actively keep them up with the use of your arms and your core and your hip flexors, then you probably have too tight hamstrings. So you've got to work on that. The spine can be rounded here. We don't need a neutral spine. Let's can both legs. Let's have them together. Next time they're together and up, send one arm away and bring it back. Send the other arm away and bring it back. Send both arms away, bring it back. Bend the legs. Go up, lost it, into a teaser, point the feet and flex the feet. Flex and point, flex and point, flex and point, flex and point, and relax. So to come in and out of a teaser, we can start by bending the knees on the way down. I find it's much easier to get into a teaser from above than to suddenly lift it from below. So we get into the start of the teaser or the top of the teaser and then roll down and bend the legs as you go. Take a breath in and breathe out to roll back up again, straightening the legs as you go. Roll down. The angle that the legs go out on is really important because it's a counter lever. If you go too low, then you're going to hit the floor. If you go too high, then you won't get up. So you've got to find the right angle where the legs can help you so that the core, the abdominal muscles, the flexor muscles work at the right time to articulate you up. The legs have got a relatively simple job. All they need to do is straighten, but the spine has got a difficult job of sequentially coming up into the teaser. Once you're here then, challenge the position. Sending the arms up and down, up and down. We can lower and lift the legs without moving the upper body. We can take the upper body down and bring it back up again, trying not to move the legs. We can lower the whole thing down with the arms down by the sides and swing it back up. We can lower the whole thing down with the arms overhead and roll it back up. and so on and so forth. We could do teasers for days, but we're not gonna. Come and sit sideways, and we're going to do a two-sided side bend or mermaid. I'm going to make use of the shin for the counter stretch. So float the arms out in front, looking straight ahead. Plant this hand. You can bend or straighten it, but keep that shoulder away from the ears as you side bend up and over. Come back up, grab hold of a shin to pull you up and over the other way. And reach, side bend, and up, and counter stretch. And let's do a snake and twist, or thread the needle. So plant this hand, look at this hand, sweep it through. Come back. Plant and twist. Come back. Plant and twist. Come back. Plant, twist, stay. Spiral up. Spiral down. Spiral up. Try to keep that right hip down the whole time. Spiral down. Spiral up. Spiral down and sweep back out. And counter stretch. Come up into an open leg rocker in the middle. We're not going to rocker here because I don't have any mat behind me. Can't just go on the bare carpet, it'd be crazy. Same on the other side. So we're going to sit tall and upright, side bend, counter stretch. We often have a good or a better and a more challenged side. Normal. And then we're going to snake and twist. Stay, spiral, up, spiral down, spiral up, spiral down, spiral up, spiral down, spiral up, and spiral down, and sweep back out of it. And counter stretch. We're going to roll over onto our front for some extension. We're going to move towards the rocking. Now whether you get to rocking or not is a different story, it doesn't really matter. Grab hold of an ankle if you can. If you can't grab hold of an ankle, then hook a towel or a stretchy band over the 2 feet so that there's some distance between you and the foot. But if you can grab an ankle, that's awesome. Stay here. And then lift the knees. Mine don't come very far. And then lift the upper body. And try to pull with your arms and push with your legs. Do upper body and legs at the same time. Notice I changed my breathing around. For this extension exercise, I find it easier because I need the strength of the out breath to pull myself apart. Last one. And relax. Push back into a rest position. And from here, push your hands back. Come up to kneeling. Come into a squat if your knees allow. Send your bum high, restack the spine all the way up, and we can do some freestanding roll downs. All the way up. Reorganize yourself if you're on halfway on the mat, halfway off, and roll down. And roll up from there. Now I'm coming back down, I'm telling you to roll up, because this is probably better done standing, but for the sake of keeping the camera the same, I'm just going to do this kneeling. Kneeling is a good thing that you should be able to do. If you can't do that because of ankle or knees, then sit cross-legged or however you want, or stand. But let's roll the shoulders. It's good to do this standing because then it takes you ready to go out the door. But kneeling here takes me closer to the test that I wanted to give you anyway. Let's roll the elbows. And let's roll the arms. And relax there. Let's turn the head. And back to the center, the other way. Back to the center. Keep alternating. And let's take an ear to the shoulder. And back. And the other way. Keep alternating, looking straight ahead. And without bringing the shoulder to the ear. That's my problem, I always do that. And relax. Send the chin forwards. And come back. Send the chin forwards. And come back. Send the chin forwards as if you're in the supermarket fighting over that last roll of toilet paper. And then come back. Send the chin forwards. And come back. Be more interested in the backward movement. Who says Pilates doesn't make you look beautiful, eh? Double chins all round. And relax. Send an arm forwards and let's rotate the wrist. Now really explore the range that you have. So don't just do a small circle. Explore every corner of that circle and go the other way. Keep this hand below the shoulder, it just keeps it slightly neater at the shoulder joint. And same with the other side. And the other way. And relax there. Let's take you down onto the mat again. I'm sorry if you were standing by this time. So freestanding roll down. Come down onto your hands and knees and lie down. On your back with the legs bent, feet and knees together. And let's roll the knees and hips from side to side. And here I'm interested in how does this feel compared to the first time you did it. So it might still be different. It might be still tighter on one side than the other. You might feel muscles being pulled. But I certainly feel a difference. So when I started this evening, I felt a bit of a strain down the thigh. It's gone. My back feels looser in both directions. It'd be quite cool actually to cut and edit this video to see what the first one looks like next to the second one. And we shall finish there. To get up from here, roll sideways, push yourself up into a seated position, come up to standing however you want to, and just remember, gang, in these times it's worthwhile keeping your body moving. If you keep the body moving, then there's blood circulating through the whole body, brain is moving, and you're thinking about exercises, doing Pilates, that sort of thing. Get outside, get a walk, get some fresh air. We live in a beautiful country. Everyone that comes to the Pilates festival is relatively close to us, so you have the same kind of surroundings. So get out there and enjoy it. And thank you for being part of the Pilates festival team, and we'll see you out in the Pilates world.